Hey guys, it's winter. This is a fun little Valentine's Day look for you. It's a bit late, but better late than never, right? I just wanted to share this with you, and it's a little pink sunset, purpley, peachy moment, and I just hope you guys like it. So keep on watching.
Hey guys, it's me again. First I'm going to start off with a vitamin C serum to prevent wrinkles. Then I'm going to use my Bobbi Brown Hydrating Face Cream on my dry areas and a little bit on my nose to keep my oil at bay. I'm also going to go in with my Almay Smart Shade Primer. I'm new to using primer, so if you have any recommendations, put them in the comments. To help battle my dark circles, I'm going to use my NYX Color Correcting Palette in the shade number 4. I also have really rosy cheeks, so I like to tone them down with the Becca Color Corrector in Pistachio. I put extra moisturizer on my cheeks to help blend it in so that I'm not too green. To make my foundation lighter in the winter, I mix some blue color correcting concealer from NYX. This concealer has a mattifying effect that makes it great for mixing into foundations. The foundation I'm using is actually a full coverage BB cream from Misa M. I wear the shade number 21. I like to buff this out with a damp beauty blender. Since I struggle to cover my dark circles, I like to take a thick concealer and put it right near the inner corners of my eyes. Here I'm using MAC Studio Finish in NW15. I just put it on the back of any paintbrush and paint it on. For the rest of my eye area and face, I use the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Very Fair. I also put concealer on my jawline because I have lots of redness there. I also blend my concealer with a beauty blender. I tap any excessively shiny areas with a clean part of my sponge. For cream contour, I use Maybelline Master Contour in the shade Light. This is the only cream shade that doesn't show up too orange tone on my pale skin. This blends better with sweeping motions rather than tapping with a beauty blender. To set under my eyes, I first make sure that there's no creasing, and then I use the pointed edge of the damp sponge to press loose powder into my eyes and T-zone. I swear by the e.l.f. under eye setting powder. When mattifying the rest of my face and ensuring it doesn't slip away, I use the NYX Mineral Veil Finishing Powder in light medium with an e.l.f. Kabuki brush. To blend my contour easier, I make sure I have extra powder on my cheeks and nose. I love to contour with this knockoff Artiste brush from eBay. Since I'm so pale, I use this taupe shade called Jet Setter from the Tarte In Bloom palette. Here I'm going relatively light on the cheeks and nose, and barely putting any on my forehead. The brand of this blush rubbed off, but the name on the back says Happy Hibiscus. I got it in an Ipsy bag and obviously love it. It has a little bit of a shimmer. I always put on too much. I'm super excited to have just gotten the Moonchild palette for my birthday. I'm going to be doing way more looks with it in the future. I'm using the shade Pink Heart on a fan brush and spraying a bit of any primer spray to help it stick. When I'm done with my face, I fix my hair and start my eyebrows. This brow is way thinner than the other and requires more shaping. After filling them in with the NYX brow contour, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow gel. To make this painted on brow more believable, I paint on tiny hair strokes with powder. I'm using the lighter shade from the Anastasia Brow Duo on an angle brush. For the eyes, I used a Lorac primer and set it with a very light shade. As a transition shade, I went from lid to brow bone and blended it under my lash line with the shade Georgia from the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I didn't show it here, but I also used the shade Candied Peach to darken the pink. In an attempt to add more depth, I used a ColourPop Super Shock shadow called Bill, but it wasn't pink enough, so I added tons of Candied Peach to achieve my desired look. Since these shades have no names, we're just gonna have to guess here and say I used a violet shade from the Morphe 35P palette. I kept this closer to the crease and outer V using a penciled brush to give a sunset effect with the peach blending into purple. I'm spraying a lot of primer water on a concealer brush to pack on the shade Just Peachy. I'm going for a really foiled effect here. I was really liking the hint of gold in that shade, so I added a champagne one called Bellini. I wanted the inner corners to be really icy, so I added Pink Heart and an Urban Decay single eyeshadow called SWF. I also highlighted my brows with these. I obviously needed more highlight. For lashes, I'm using the Tarteist mascara and some red cherry lashes. I'm really impatient with waiting for the glue to dry, so they sometimes slip away. I didn't know what lip color to use, so I used the Too Faced Melted Matte in the shade Queen Bee, but I didn't like it very much. I always powder my liquid lips after they dry. I wanted the lip look to match the eye look more, so I added the shade Candy Peach all over the lips and then the purple shade from the Morphe palette on the outer corners. I highlighted the Cupid's bow and bottom lip with the shade Pink Heart.
And that is it, guys. That's the finished product. Thank you so much for watching. This is my first video, so I will link my social media handles down below. But thank you so much for watching, and if you would like to see more, then subscribe.